here today, and I promise some of you that have been waiting outside since 2 o'clock today in this awful seat will be some of the first people called on after a question. So Rick, kick-started.
I have to be first.
Rick, kick-started. What inspired you to write your memoir? Since very few books of this type, the author writes the whole book themselves. You completely did it yourself. What made you do this very, very impressive book, which has received rave reviews?
Hey, I don't need a microphone. Come on.
You're from California and talking like a New Yorker already.
Oh, is this thing on? No, I guess it's not. All right, fine. So, I wanted to write my autobiography, and it seemed like a good time, turning... How old was I when I wrote it? 26. 26?
Everybody here Rick in the back? Okay, you can't just let us...
No, I could project. You have a problem hearing? Are you okay? Glass wall. It bounces off the glass wall. It seemed like a good idea at the time. And Stacy, my publisher, encouraged me. And I'm very happy I did. Sorry I said some of the things I did, but can't take it back once it's in print.
Rick, you said you're the happiest when you're performing. You feel like almost like you're a 7-year-old kid. Do you still feel like that when you get on stage since you perform over 100 concerts a year? Does it ever get old?
Sometimes it does, but most of the time, no. Most of the time it's still magic to me to go on stage and play.
What is, maybe you can describe for some of us, what is the feeling when you first get on stage?
Like an orgasm. Everybody gets that, all right. If you said that in the 80s, everyone would have gone,
I'm blushing.
But what gets better after that?
What's that?
What gets better after that?
Nothing. That's heaven.
Rick, you may be the only human in history of the planet to choose acting as a safety career, a sensible fallback at the time when your music career was slow to take off. What made you so confident you'd find work as an actor at the time? And secondly, could you please briefly discuss some of your early roles, which many people remember, The $6 Million Man and some others?
I don't think anyone here is old enough to remember the early role. Fair enough. I don't know. I thought innocently that I could actually make money as an actor while I was waiting for music to come over to the big night. But it was just luck. I was one of those. I think sometimes going in without expectation or without the roadblocks that you anticipate being there encourages you and helps you become successful. If you don't see the roadblocks, they're not there. And I didn't see any roadblocks in acting. I said, okay, I'm going to do this for a while until I get a record deal. So it worked out. And along came $6 Million Man and other memorable roles. But it paid the light bill. Really, the light bill came and for $48 and a check for Rockford Files to show up for $50. And I go, right, there is a God.
Rick, some critics claim your popularity of Dr. Noah Drake was clouded your perception as a serious musician. Do you care to comment?
Yeah, I agree completely. Yeah.
Do you think it helped you out at all?
Yeah, of course it did. It's like everything in life. There's nothing that's all great, nothing that's all bad, and what presented itself was yin-yang again, and it was great and it was horrible, and the great thing was that it ignited the rocket, and the bad thing was that it kind of, people doubted that I was an actual musician, but I was determined to stay in it long enough to prove them wrong. And I hope I have, but I think to a lot of people I still haven't proven that I'm an actual musician.
Many people don't realize...
But those ones can suck it.
Many people don't know that you have a tattoo of a hawk on your right shoulder.
I'm not showing you.
Which I have not seen. I've heard about. Could you tell us the genesis about it, and also about the tattoo on your buttocks?
The tattoo on my buttocks might be from... What are you doing, bud? What's the tattoo on my buttocks? Really, look, I don't have...
Oh, yeah, I'm ready.
Sorry, I always find the kids after the... I have kids too, you know. They're really messed up with their kids. I don't have a tattoo on my butt, but I do have a tattoo of a hawk on my shoulder, and it came from the death of Ronnie, my dog, on the working-class dog cover, and a hawk presented itself to me in a very spiritual, meaningful way after Ronnie's death, and that's why I have a hawk on my shoulder, the spiritual side. Yeah. Plus, I thought it looked really cool.
You suffered clinical depression for many, many years, and many people are able to relate to you since it's now more and more discussed. At the age of 16, you tried to commit suicide. However, on stage, your upbeat persona and your charisma always impresses everybody, the audience, the critics and stuff. What do you think the apparent disconnect is with this constant battle of fighting clinical depression as opposed to this incredible persona that everybody's witnessing now and many people have witnessed over the years on stage and on television?
Well, the one off stage is 61 and the one on stage is 7 years old, and that makes all the difference. I was not depressed when I was 7. It was the best time of my life.
Would you feel comfortable?
You have a gun?
It's a joke.
Not that much.
Would you feel comfortable briefly describing what you go through sometimes when you are depressed and how you combat it?
I drink heavily. That never helps, actually. I've proved that several times. But it's always with me. It's with me 24 hours a day, and except when I dream good stuff. And a lot of people actually know what I mean, and those that don't, God, I want some of your DNA, please. But it's very, very hard, and it's with me all the time. It's been here this whole week, which really sucks. And I meditate, and I try and be thankful for what I have, and I thank God. You know, I look at the guy walking by the roadside bomb and dodging bullets in Afghanistan. I think things aren't as bad as I think. And I have to learn to be more thankful and understand the balance of life, you know. And it's a struggle, honestly. And no one can heal me, so don't give me that look. No, I'm talking to you, sister. What?
You need another dog.
Yeah, a dog would help.
Yeah.
It's completely internal.
Talking about dogs, your breakthrough
That dog's a dog.
You're in New York.
But anyway, talking about dogs, your breakthrough.
It's California. Dog.
Your breakthrough.
No, just try it. No, I can say dog. How do you say dog? Dog. I just want you to sound like a
New York,
trying to make the American accent. I sound like John Wayne.
Your breakthrough album, Working Class Dog.
Sorry.
It's okay.
I'm not going to try that accent. You might have thought that's the problem.
Your dad unfortunately passed away as it was coming out, and he was one of the closest people in your life and greatest influences on your life. Has he still had an influence in your life after all these years? And do you feel that he's missed some of these real big chapters in your life after that time?
I wouldn't know if he's missed it or not. I hope not. But, what was the first one? Sorry, I had ADD.
Your dad, the influence he played on you.
Oh, he still has an influence on me. Yes, he still has an influence on me.
In what type of way?
He's always there.
He's always around.
What?
He's always around.
Can we answer another question? I'll come back to it.
Another easy question for you, Rick. If you struggle with infidelity,
Suck it.
struggle with infidelity for most of your adult life, what do you attribute your long-term success and your marriage to?
An amazing woman. It's not me, it's her, and we, a connection. We have a connection, which isn't unbreakable. But she's an amazing person, and yeah. That's all I'm going to say about that.
Many people love the hilarious and well-written show Californication. They wrote this incredible character, Twisted Rick Springfield. How is it to play a different version of yourself, and did they write this character specifically in mind for you?
They did once I was cast, but they were looking for somebody with a history in the 80s, and they read a bunch of people, and I got the part, and then they wrote, "You're late." You're late.
Late night.
And they wrote,
There's actually 2 seats.
There's actually 2 seats right here. You finished me late. Round of applause for the late couple. And then they wrote it around, the character was always going to be this hedonist, drug addict, womanizer, but they wrote historical stuff with Rick Springfield in mind, So it appeared that they don't always had me in mind, but they didn't.
You ever feel it's too close to home for you?
No. I'm not a dick like that guy was. I'm a dick in a certain way, but I'm not. I never do blow. I mean, I'm not that guy at all. But I have had elements of that guy in my life.
My wife and I were watching Glee last evening, and in the middle of Glee, they broke out into Jesse songs. What do you think about Glee doing one of your songs?
Well, if they did Jesse's song, I'd be really, really. Girl.
What do you think of it?
I mean, they basically copied the record. They did the record, and so I guess it's still. I was proud of that because it still holds up. They didn't change it.
Did you get a laugh at it?
I don't know if it was laugh. I don't know. Yeah, the royalties.
And the last question, before we open up to a couple of Williams questions, in your memoir, Late at Night, you mentioned that there could be a 3rd and a 4th book. Will that happen?
I don't think I'll live that long, but yeah, no, I'm already, there's already so much that's happened since the book came out.
On that note, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to first start with somebody, one brave soul that has been waiting outside since 2 o'clock today. Can we have a hand?
Me.
Rick, usually after the first question, it flows in like a river, so...
Oh, they're scared? No, they're going, who the heck is that person?
The first question...
This sounds like a clam.
Does anybody have any questions? The gentleman there.
You mentioned how General Hospital is kind of a blessing and a curse. If you had it to do all over again, now, knowing what you know now, would you have done the show, or would you have passed on?
No, I would have done something different. We'd do the same thing over again. It's bore me out of my mind. I mean, I would definitely, you know, I mean, it would have turned out completely differently, I'm sure, but I believe that events come together because you focus so much on a result, and I think they were the events that came together. I'm a big believer in goals and, you know, and seeing the end result and getting out of the way so that the right things happen to get you there. Yeah, I would have done it differently. I would like to see what would have happened if I become the Egyptologist I always wanted to be. I wouldn't be sitting here. I'd be in Egypt sweating my ass off. Crazy hour.
By the way, Francis ID.
What?
Thank you, Francis ID. Thank you. Simple question.
Yeah. Wait, what was that first part? I missed it.
He's talking like he made a New Yorker. He said,
Oh, you're New Yorker. Okay, go ahead.
He said a man in 1980, but all that's one word.
Simple question. Best restaurant and to go to New York City.
What?
Best restaurant you like to go to.
Wow. I don't know.
Big.
The one we were at tonight was pretty good. We went to a vegan restaurant. I've actually recently turned vegan, and we went to a great vegan restaurant the other night.
Blossom Cafe.
What was it called?
Blossom Cafe.
Blossom Cafe, that's right. But I don't recommend it unless, you know, if you like meat and stuff like that, I don't recommend it. I'm not being judged. What?
Anybody can eat there.
No, I know. Can I finish? I'm not being judgmental about eating meat because I love meat. And I didn't become a vegan to save the animals because all those trillions of cows wouldn't be here if we didn't eat meat. They wouldn't have bred them. But I do, you know, I do it for health reasons. But I do also love animals. So maybe there is a reason.
The lady there.
Hi there.
Sit down. Sorry, go ahead.
I loved reading the book, and I really enjoyed listening to the audio version. How was that for you to record it? Was that like bringing it all back?
Yeah, it was really hard. It was incredibly hard to do the audio version. I think you can hear it in my voice. I certainly can.
I love
And
it.
it's full of emotion in a lot of places, and I recorded it in my studio at home, and I had to stop at times and go gather myself. You know, like when you ask me a question about my dad, there's things I can't talk about. And it's like my mom. My mom's 91 years old, and she'll be coming on the cruise. I'll tell you guys all. Wait, is this wet thing? Yeah? Oh, I can't do it. All right. But anyway, so, when's it going out?
It's going out in a month's time.
Oh, so I can say it.
Yeah, just say it.
Alana, can I say it?
Yeah, you can say it.
Okay, so it's our last cruise, this one. Fourth and final cruise.
I'm so sorry.
Sorry. I'm gonna announce it tomorrow. So, what's the question? My mom. Oh, she's coming on the cruise. So, and I had more to say. 91 years old. I know, I love her. Yeah, coming on the cruise. She's coming on the cruise. She's 91.
This lady here was going to make me remember.
Coming on the
What was your
cruise.
question?
Have you thought about writing a sci-fi book?
What's that?
A sci-fi book. Have you thought about writing a sci-fi book?
Yeah, I have actually. I love sci-fi. It's my favorite genre. I actually have, yes. The answer to your question is yes, yeah. Stand up, you must stand up, you must stand up. Maddie, you're standing up, stand up, you know what I'm saying. Maybe it does.
I was fortunate enough to go in 2009 and that was a dream come true for me. But one thing I kept thinking of during the first and second one was, what was that like for you? There were 700 to 1,000 of us on board, and one of you was scared, overwhelmed.
Well, we know that.
Because the people that come on the cruise get it. You know, they know. Actually, everyone was very polite. Not polite, but everyone understood the game. You know, if you hug me for half an hour and other people get pissed off, you're going to hear about it later on in the bar. And you think about it. by other people who were upset because they didn't get. So everyone gets the game, and it's great. It's very friendly. I know I don't know names. I'm terrible with names, but I know faces, and I know a lot of these people, and they know I recognize them, and it's a great connection. It really, I'm going to be sorry that we're not doing it, but I want to go do something else, and it's not frightening at all. It's kind of like a big family. I mean, we're all in there for the same reason. It's like going to a great party where you all have the same interests, and it's really amazing. I mean, I was surprised very, very much by the first one, by how much I enjoyed it, and they've been getting better and better. And I don't want to kind of get to the point where we go, oh man, that one wasn't as good as last year. So that's all I mean. You had one question. What's that?
Thank you for doing this news and thank you for doing this event.
There was a person in the back that had a question.
Maddie? Danny, you have a question?
Joe, don't forget this side.
Please, I can't see over here. The lady that's on the side here, I think the gentleman there.
Hi.
Oh.
Do you take medication for your depression, and if not, why?
I do. I took Prozac for a while, but all medication stopped working at some point. And there's only a certain amount of medication you can take, and that's a problem with medication, I think, and I've seen it with all kinds of issues, and it does help for a while. I think it's worthy, but I think in the end, you know, the chemical thing is hard. I mean, the physical depression where you're really depressed about something is something you actually deal with. The chemical thing is harder, and that's where, you know, medication can come in. But in the end, you have to learn to kind of. I'm trying to learn to live with it and make it part of my life, because there's a good side to everything. You know, my strongest belief spiritually is yin yang. Is that, you know, it's everything. With everything terrible comes a seed for something wonderful, and with everything wonderful, there's a back end that you've got to watch out for. And so I try and work with it with meditation and with therapy and with talking, and talking about it helps me, you know. And so, yeah.
Thank you.
The gentleman there.
Hi, Rick. Lately I've been tracking down a lot of the old Zoot records.
Oh, wow.
And really enjoying them. And well, I'm kind of getting the feel that you guys were like an Australian vanilla fudge in a way.
Yeah, I mean, the video record of us on YouTube is all the later stuff. After I joined the band, and they were like a teeny band that dressed in pink and had, you know, little girls chasing them around and tearing their clothes off. And I joined the band and said, fuck this pink shit, I'm not doing it. But I did it for a little while. So I encourage us, because Led Zeppelin was on the horizon, and I encourage us to be, you know, play heavier, because we're all great musicians. You know, the bass player went on to form Little River Band, and so we're serious about our musicianship.
Right, but the first time I heard you guys do Eleanor Rigby, if you didn't tell me who it was, I'd swear it was like Vanilla Fudge doing a cover of Eleanor Rigby.
And that was our biggest record, and that was a thing that I arranged and took to them and said that they'll hate this because they were, you know, doing bubblegum music, but they loved it, and we put that was the biggest hit, and it still sells, and that's what we're most known for.
Any chance of the Zoot coming to New York doing some gigs?
No, we will not come to America, but we're on the first time in 40 years we're together on this next cruise. We're going to play a set, and that will be the only time we'll ever be together.
What is the question? Your daughter, I think, has a question.
Wait, your what?
Your daughter.